All right, so today we're going to dive into a news report from NBC Bay Area that's still developing, and honestly, it's a really sensitive and complex situation. We're going to break down how a story like this gets reported, separating what we know for sure from what's still just a claim. And you'll see why that distinction is absolutely critical. So at its core, the story that grabbed everyone's attention has two main parts, right? There's a tragic discovery, and then there's this potential, very high-profile connection. To really get what's going on, we need to carefully unpack the facts, take a close look at where the information is actually coming from, and then clarify the official procedure that has to follow an incident like this.
Okay, first things first, the core details. Before we get into any of the speculation or the bigger names involved, let's just establish what has actually been reported as fact. This is the bedrock, the solid ground that the entire rest of the story is built on.
So according to that NBC Bay Area report, these are the absolute basics that we can confirm. A woman was tragically found deceased. The location was the San Francisco Fairmont Hotel, and this all happened on Thursday morning. That's it. These 3 points, this is the undisputed foundation of the report. Everything else is layered on top of this.
And here we go. This is where the story pivots from those established facts into much more complicated territory. We're now moving into the part of the report that talks about the woman's potential identity, and this is where reading every single word really matters.
I want you to pay super close attention to the language here. The two phrases in this quote that are absolutely crucial are believed to be and according to a police source. See, this isn't an official press conference or a statement from the police department. It's information that's being attributed to a very specific kind of source, and that distinction, it changes everything.
So why does that matter so much? Well, a police source can give a reporter incredibly timely information, often from someone who has direct knowledge of the situation. But, and this is a big but, it is not an official on-the-record statement. It's preliminary. It's how reporters get the jump on developing stories, but it always comes with this huge warning label. It has not been officially confirmed by the department itself. Not yet.
So the report puts a name out there, Victoria Jones. This is the key piece of information that came from that police source. But because it is unofficial and because the situation is so profoundly sensitive, it leads us directly to a critical and, frankly, non-negotiable step in any death investigation.
And here's the thing you have to understand. The police themselves cannot make the final official confirmation of someone's identity. That is the sole responsibility of the medical examiner. Their entire job is to conduct an independent investigation to figure out the cause of death and, crucially, to make the formal legal identification. Until they release their findings, any name you hear is, by definition, unconfirmed.
Okay, so with all that context in mind, let's look at where the official investigation stands right now based on what the NBC article laid out. This really helps clarify what the police have said on the record versus the procedural steps that just have to happen next.
This lays out the two different tracks of the investigation perfectly. On one hand, you've got the police's initial assessment from what they saw at the scene that they don't suspect foul play at this time. But then, on the other hand, you have the mandatory formal procedure that has to happen no matter what they think, that official identification by the medical examiner.
So let's just do a quick recap of the key takeaways here. We have the confirmed facts. An incident happened at the Fairmont on Thursday. We have unconfirmed information about the identity, and we know it came from a source. We have a preliminary assessment from police of no foul play, and we have that official process, the medical examiner's formal identification, which is still pending. This really shows you the vast space that can exist between a breaking news alert and an established, confirmed fact.
And this brings us to one last, really important thought. At its heart, this is a story of a profound human tragedy that has suddenly become very public. The distinction we've been talking about between a source name and a confirmed identity, well, it isn't just a journalistic technicality. It really highlights the delicate and often difficult reality of reporting on events in real time. And it's a powerful reminder that behind every single headline, there's a story that is still unfolding for the real people involved.